authentic spaghetti sauce from Kentucky. We shall have to investigate this and see if this spaghetti sauce recipe from a vintage Kentucky cookbook can be as authentic as they describe it. Hello, my name is Trista and I love to read vintage cookbooks just like this one out of Kentucky Kitchens, cover to cover, and discover great recipes for you to try in your own kitchen. So join me as we try Dr. Arnold Griswold's Italian spaghetti. Let's jump right into it. Today we are going to be using this cookbook out of Kentucky Kitchens by Marian Flexner. It's a very simple design of a book. It's from 1949 and we are going to make Dr. Arnold Griswold's Italian spaghetti. So I am very excited to share the story of this recipe and a version of this recipe with you all. We're gonna cut this in half because this makes 8 servings and that's a little too much for our family of 3. So let's get right into the recipe. Wow, look at that bubbling spaghetti sauce. It's looking amazing. Yum. So here in our Dutch oven, we have olive oil on the bottom of this pan. And then we're also going to add some minced garlic. I get the pre-minced garlic, but you can chop up about 2 or 3 cloves of garlic. We love garlic here, so I always add a little extra, but add what you like in there. This is already smelling really good. I had this up to kind of medium high here. So the recipe says to saute this mixture here for about 3 or 4 minutes. And then we're gonna add the meat in. So let me tell you, I'm gonna share with you the paragraph at the beginning of this recipe, which I think is so cute. Because I wonder if this is really an authentic Italian recipe or not, coming from someone in Kentucky. But I'm just really curious. So let's check it out. It says, Dr. Arnold Griswold, the noted surgeon, now a professor of surgery at the University of Louisville, was assigned to the Italian Army in World War I. He got this recipe from a confrère, I don't think I've ever heard that term, and has concocted it on occasions ever since to the delight of his friends. So that is just such a fun story there. And this is starting to look really good. I'm gonna come back in a moment when we are ready to put in the meat. So pardon the steam on this. We are browning about 1 pound or so of ground beef here, along with the onions and the garlic. Whew, sorry about the steam, it's very steamy. But it is cooking up quite nicely. I'm gonna come back when it's time to put the sauce in. I will be back. Yay, now the steam has subsided a little bit. Sorry about that. I put in the 2 cans of tomato paste and tomato sauce. You could either use sauce or puree. And before this, you could saute some mushrooms in here. I actually forgot to buy them, so there's no mushrooms in here. And it also says to wash out the can of tomatoes with water. So we're gonna add a little bit of water in here. I don't want to thin down the sauce a little bit, so you can decide how much water you want to put in there. I'm just putting about half a can so far, but we will see. I'm going to reduce the heat significantly so that we can get our herbs and spices in here. Now, here is something really interesting, that this calls for Worcestershire sauce. I'm going to turn off the fan now. So this calls for Worcestershire sauce. A half a tablespoon here I'm going to put in. And the other really interesting ingredient is a half teaspoon of ground mustard. Very interesting. So we're going to add that in. We're also going to add a teaspoon of kosher salt, a half teaspoon of some fresh ground pepper, and then I'm going to add a half teaspoon of all the herbs that he said in here. The good doctor, it says experiment with herbs. So this is, let me check the label. Marjoram. I've never used marjoram in a spaghetti sauce before, so I'm excited about that. Half teaspoon of basil, dried. Half teaspoon of rosemary. I always like to take this and crush it with my hands. So we're going to do that. Half teaspoon of thyme. Another thing I usually don't put in spaghetti sauce, but I'm just going to add all the herbs that he mentioned. And then a half teaspoon of oregano. So let's stir all that in there. And so it asks us, and actually I might add a tiny bit more water to this because we're gonna let this kind of simmer for quite a while to let the flavors meld before we get it plated up with their spaghetti. And this is a lot thinner than most spaghetti sauces I have made before, but I think it's gonna coat the noodles quite well. And it's smelling really good. So what we need to do is we need to cover this. I'm just gonna go ahead and add the rest of that water. We need to bring it to a little bit of a boil first, and then we're gonna reduce the heat and cover it, and we're gonna let that simmer for at least an hour. Maybe it says 2 to 3 hours in the recipe. So let's go low and slow on that. And now it's boiling, so I'm going to just put that down to warm and simmer. Woo! Then let's get on the lid on it. So we'll be back to check out this spaghetti. So we are back with this delicious sauce, and it's been cooking probably like an hour and a half, and it's looking really delicious. It says it should be kind of the thickness of heavy cream or something like that. So now we're going to move on to boiling the spaghetti noodles like the recipe says, and I'll read you some from the book, like a little story time, recipe story time. And we'll check out the final plate of spaghetti. Make sure to stay tuned for the tasting. I'm gonna sneak a little taste, and then my family will have a taste. So look at that gorgeousness. I will see you in a moment for the spaghetti. So here we are with our water heating up in another Dutch oven. And it says for the spaghetti to kind of hang over the side, and then you can push it in as the other parts of the spaghetti get softer. So let me come back in just a moment. I'm going to grab the book and read you some more of the recipe, because it's really delightful as we kind of watch this boil and go into the water. So here we have, I'm gonna start kind of pushing this in as it softens up. I have this on high. So I wanted to read what the recipe says because I love how they describe this. It's kind of like as if you've never cooked spaghetti before, so I love it. To serve, have a large kettle of boiling water on the stove. Add the unbroken spaghetti, stirring to separate it. If at first the spaghetti will not go in the kettle, sticks the ends in, and gradually as they become limp, the remainder can be pushed in. After 5 minutes, add salt, then cook 10 minutes longer. So I love this, and we're gonna have a bit of our favorite kosher salt on standby here. And I will come back when these are boiling just a little bit more, and we will get our delicious plate of spaghetti going. I wanted to show you that I'm finally starting to get those ends of the spaghetti in there. I don't know about you, but I usually break my spaghetti in half. I know that traditionally you're supposed to, twirl the noodles using either a fork, just a fork, or a fork and a spoon, but I myself has never mastered that skill. And so I usually break it, but I want to be true to this recipe, so I'm not gonna break the noodles. And yay, there they go into the hot water. It's not quite boiling yet, but it's getting there. So we will come back when I have these noodles all strained and ready to go for the spaghetti. Let me know in the comments below if you are a noodle twirler or not. I would love to know. So now I have a little sneak tasting. Before we end our little story time, wait till another section or towards the end, because I'm going to read the ending of the recipe story. It talks about how the Griswold served this spaghetti, and then we're going to do a family tasting. This is what we are having for dinner tonight. So I'm just going to take a tiny sneak taste. Bear in mind, I am not the greatest at twirling, but I'm going to try to do it the way you're supposed to. The sauce smells really, really good. Let's give it a go. And I put a little bit of Parmesan on there too. Mmm. 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 This is really, really good. It's very classic. I think maybe the Worcestershire gives it a nice kind of deep umami taste. It's different than the spaghetti sauce I normally make because it doesn't have as big of chunks of tomatoes, but this is quite nice. It's a very classic sauce. So I think you will enjoy it, and I'm excited to hear what my family thinks of it. So let us finish our little story time. I find it interesting to see what they served with the spaghetti back in 1949. So it says, with this, the Griswold served garlic bread or Italian breadsticks. That sounds amazing. I wish I had time tonight to make those. Maybe next time. Grapefruit and Bibb lettuce salad and a tart French dressing. That's very interesting. It doesn't sound super Italian, but might be refreshing. And of course, lots of strong coffee. I noticed a lot of menus in these older books serve coffee with all kinds of meals, and my coffee cutoff point is noon, so that would not be working for me unless it's decaf, but even then, rather have water with my meal. But anyway, let me know what you think of this menu from the Griswolds. And let's see what my family thinks of this delicious spaghetti. Stay tuned. All right, so my husband and son are here to try the spaghetti.
And what are we trying exactly?
Dr. Griswold spaghetti from Kentucky.
Oh, he's a doctor.
So
I guess he was in the Italian army for some reason, so.
Okay, what makes it unusual? It looks like
well,
normal
there's
spaghetti.
Worcestershire and ground mustard, which is kind of different.
Jeez, you're taking all the non-cheesy parts.
Oh, sorry. I'm not much of cheese.
No, sorry
I'm
about
going in.
Okay.
So rude. Do you know what war he fought in with Italy?
World War I.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That must have sucked. Italy did not do, well, I mean, they won, but they did not do well in World War I.
Yeah, totally. So I would love, I don't think he's around anymore, but I'd love to hear more about it.
Yum.
What are your thoughts versus what you're used to?
I know, I'm going to go for an all-sauce
kind
bite.
of like classic, you know, but a little saucier than other sauces, but if that makes sense.
I can't taste a huge difference, to be honest.
Okay, yeah, it's similar.
To me, it tastes like... Oh, it tastes more like beef stew.
Beef
Yeah,
stew.
it does have kind of a beef taste to it.
Yeah. I
It's
think
delicious.
because, you know, the seasonings in proportion of the beef are,
Well,
a little bit different.
And I taste the Worcestershire.
Yeah, it adds kind of a
And it makes it taste like a beef
like
stew.
umami taste to it. I think that's
It's good, though.
yeah. Yep.
Adam approved.
Yay. Awesome.
Can't wait
So
to have
glad
more.
It's a hit. Thanks for watching, guys.